Previously, we've looked at the various types of entertainment that are available to you, but let's assume that you've decided to book a band. There are a huge number of bands out there, so where do you start? We believe that there are 6 key issues to consider when you're making your final decision. The first is obviously music and style. You need to make sure that whichever band you choose is going to play what you're looking for, that they're going to create the right type of atmosphere for you and your guests, that there will be something in there for everyone. For that reason, we always recommend that you ask to see a band's set list. Destination Groove can provide you with a set list, so you have a clear idea of exactly what we would be playing, and you can make sure that it really is the style of music that you want. But we know that it goes way beyond just picking a great set list. Performance is a hugely important area to consider. You've paid extra for a band, so you need to make sure that they are going to create the central focal point for you and your guests that you want. It is your band's responsibility to interact with your guests and create a great atmosphere. So we recommend that you always try and see your band perform live before you make a final decision. But sometimes that isn't possible. So the next thing we would recommend is that you look for live performances online. Just bear in mind though that some bands do pre-record their demos and then mime to them, so they're not always a true reflection. Destination Groove only posts live demos, so what you see and hear is truly what you get. Additional entertainment is another area to consider. Bands like Destination Groove can also offer acoustic sets, smooth jazz sets, music through our PA when the band's having a break. Some bands also offer DJ services. Bear in mind that booking your entertainment as a bundle really can save you money, and it's also a lot easier to organise. Organisation is a key area to consider because a performance goes way beyond the actual day of your event. You need to make sure that whichever band you choose is going to support you in the lead up. You should expect a great website. You should expect quick responses from your band, a fully written contract. And in return, you should also expect to pay a deposit in order to secure your date. Health and safety is another important area to consider. Any decent band will be covered by public liability insurance and their equipment will be PAT tested. Bear in mind that some venues will refuse a band that doesn't have this documentation in place. The last important area to consider is obviously money. As there are a vast number of bands out there, they also vary widely in price. There are less expensive bands there, but you need to consider that sometimes professionalism and experience is reflected in the price. Before you choose a band, make sure that the 6 key areas we've talked about are in place. So I hope this has given you some things you need to consider when you're making your final decision on which band you should book for your event.